Hey folks, Josh here from the Fishin Hole today. Today we're going to be talking about the three main types of fishing line that we use today, and that is braided, fluoro, and monofilament fishing lines. Alright, now each one of these lines has their pros and cons in certain areas where we want to use it. We're going to start off with braided. Pros of braided: it is very thin, very strong, it lasts a long time, anywhere between 3 to 5 years, and there is no stretch. However, the only downside to braided is it is not abrasion resistant, meaning if you're fishing at a lot of rocks, trees, structure, and these start to get nicked, it's gonna wear very quickly and it's gonna break a lot quicker than a mono or a fluoro would. So what a lot of people do is they will run a braided as their main line on their spool, and they'll use like a 3 or 4 foot leader of mono or fluoro. But we're gonna dive into those lines right now. Alright, and here you got monofilament fishing line. Now one of the big pros of this, it is about a third of the price of braided is. It stretches, it is clear. However, the only downside to mono is it has a lot of memory, meaning every 6 to 8 months manufacturers recommend you should change your monofilament line because it can end up looking like this when it sits on your reel. Almost like a slinky. You see that? Because what happens is over time, that line gets wrapped around that spool and it forms and holds that memory versus a braided does not. After 3 or 4 years, you can take your braided out, pull it straight, and it'll stay straight. Monofilament, however, does not do that. And one last thing on monofilament is it floats. So it can be very useful when you're doing any topwater fishing because it keeps your line and lure at the same level on the water column. All right, and third, we got fluorocarbon. Fluorocarbon is used a lot for leaders because it is super strong, super abrasion resistant, and can really handle a fight. Meaning if you're fishing by lots of rocks, big pike, muskie, lake trout, you want to use fluoro as a leader because it's strong, it's going to withstand the teeth and rocks, and it's also very clear so the fish aren't going to see the line, they're just going to see the lure and presentation that you are showing to them. And another thing with fluoro is it actually sinks. So if you're doing any type of subsurface fishing or you're using little lighter lures, this will help keep that lure down in the fish strike zone. Okay, and the last thing about these that braided has over them is line diameter. This is a 15-pound braided, and its equivalent diameter in a mono or fluoro is 4 pounds. So, taking into consideration, we got 12-pound mono and fluoro here. If we wanted the same diameter in a braided, we're looking at 30 to 40-pound test. So this can be very beneficial if you have a smaller size reel and don't have as much line capacity. You're gonna wanna go with a braid as your main line and then do a 3 or 4 foot mono or fluoro leader. So this is gonna wrap up the short clip on the different types of fishing line that we use today. If you have any more questions, feel free to stop by any one of our Fishin Hole locations or give us a call and we'll give you a hand and get you set up to catch that fish of a lifetime. Take care, guys.